Nissan 200, one of the best motorcycle road races in the world. I'm Bruce Flanders, and my co-host for this event is Mr. Keith Code. Keith, who has not only written books about how to go road racing, but he's physically taught thousands of people how to go fast on different road racing tracks. Now, Keith, this time you're in the booth with me, and this has got to be an impressive lineup for us to look at.
These are the best superbike racers in the world. They're at the best track in the world, and the Nissan 200 is probably the showcase race for superbikes in the world. And we've got some terrific racing coming up this weekend.
We've also got the Castrol Shoei 250 GP, but we're ready for the first leg of the Nissan 200. There's been some added drama, and we've got the points leader down with Dennis Torres at the grid.
This is Wayne Rainey, the series points leader. His number 6 Honda is at the back of the grid, an unfamiliar position for Wayne Rainey. Wayne, why is the bike back here?
Well, before they threw the green flag at the start of the race, my back wheel was past my starting position. That's an automatic one-lap penalty, so I have to start at the back of the row.
What about this morning? You had a problem with the engine. This is a fresh engine in here now. Will that pose any problems?
I don't believe so. I think we're as good as we can get right now. We did have a problem this morning, but we had to change motors, but I feel confident. I think we're going to do good.
You had 2 setbacks already, but the competitive fire is still there.
You bet. We're going after it all the way.
Good luck to you.
Thanks, Dennis.
Wayne Rainey.
Wayne Rainey now has one of the hardest assignments in all of motorsports, to come from the back and come all the way through this field of some 30-odd riders before the checkered flag. A tough race course, too. Let's take a look at Laguna Seca.
Here's a diagram of one of the snakiest pieces of asphalt in the world. It's the 1.9 miles, 9 turns of Laguna Seca. This snake rears up 700 feet in the air. It's one of the most competitive and definitely one of the most challenging racetracks in the world. That's a diagram. Now let's take a ride around the Laguna Seca racetrack from the rider's seat. Here we are coming up over turn 1. This is a fast turn. Definitely fast. You can get the front wheel off the ground, but you better get it down in time for turn 2 because you got to pull the brakes on and downshift. Turn 2 is about 125 miles an hour. Here you are up in the fastest straightaway section of the Laguna Seca racetrack, up to 145 miles an hour. Brake, downshift, and you're into turn 3. It's banked. Don't go wide, though. You can see the dirt. Coming uphill, starting the ascent up to 700 feet of this snaky piece of asphalt is turn 4. On the other side of those hay bales is Salinas, California. You don't want to make a mistake there. The snake continues to rear its ugly head. Here you are coming up over that crest right there. The front wheel's in the air. You got to get it down again, pull the brakes on, and you're at the corkscrew. This is the part of the snake that bites, and it's bitten a lot of the very best riders in the world. Dropping down here into turn 7, you're looking at an incredibly fast downhill left-hander. It's got bumps in the middle. You've really got to watch out there. Here's one of the fastest sections in the course. You've got to be careful here, though. It's hard braking. It's downshifting. It's a fast right-hander, but you can't go wide because there's the dirt again. Get the front wheel down on the ground again for the last time, and you're in the tightest turn of the track. It's turn 9. It's 40, 50 miles an hour, and you're wheeling up the front straightaway. Here you see the Nissan bridge approaching again. Take that checkered flag.
Well, now you've seen the race course, as close as we can get you to it anyway. Laguna Seca's Nissan Motorcycle Weekend, the first heat race coming up. The final preparations are being made for the first leg of the Nissan 200. And boy, it's an exciting one. We're going to be going to the grid and telling you who's in this ride right now.
Okay, Bruce Flanders, let's take a look at this talent-laden front row for the Nissan 200. Coming into this event with 2 wins, and our pole sitter today is Kevin Schwantz on the factory Suzuki. Next to him, Jim Felice on the factory Yamaha. Doug Poland, sitting in the center of the front row, is the most successful privateer in America. He wants to get one.
And the Canadian, Gary Goodfellow, Suzuki mounted. Randy Renfro out of Virginia, Suzuki rounding out the front row. A total of 35 of some of the best motorcycle racers in the United States will be taking the green flag. But the key to this race has got to be the 2 riders coming off of the back with a big reputation, Wayne Rainey and Bubba Schobert.
Right, Bruce. Wayne and Bubba both jumped to start on their heat race. They're definitely going to have a hard time getting up through the pack. We're going to be watching them.
In American motorcycle professional road racing, it is a mass start. All engines running. The bikes sit in neutral till about now. They put them into gear and wait for the green flag. The green comes almost instantaneously, and this enormous field is away. Who gets the lead? Well, when they get to the first corner, it looks like number 34, Schwantz, just barely in front of number 17, Felice.
Schwantz got in there really hard. His knee got in on the inside. He kicked up some dust staying in front there. Jim Felice was in second. Doug Poland moved right down into third.
That Poland kid can ride pretty well, but out in front, number 34, Schwantz. The key, as we've mentioned several times already, is what kind of start did Wayne Rainey get? Well, we'll be checking up with him in just a moment. Right now, following the leader on cold tires at speed at Laguna.
That's right, Bruce. The tires on these machines really don't work that well until they are warm. That usually takes a little while, but it doesn't seem to be making any difference to Schwantz. He wants that lead. He wants to get ahead of Rainey in the points because Rainey is right now sitting in the catbird seat. He's got 20 points on Schwantz.
The first lap is always one of the most exciting, and now all of the riders have made it through the corkscrew and made it through cleanly. We're back on the leaders. 34, Schwantz in front. 17, Felice in second. 23, Poland in third. And all the way up to the 8th place spot is number 6, Wayne Rainey, coming off that back row start. Watching the leaders come off of turn number 9 in the slowest part of the racetrack, getting them back up to speed. There's Rainey. Boy, he gobbled by a couple more of them right there. He's really motoring through this field right now, but he's got a long way to go to catch that guy, number 34, Kevin Schwantz. They tell me the key to it all was the way he started. So we're going to go back right now and take a look in replay at how Wayne Rainey got underway.
And this is how it looked. Rainey on the left, Schobert on the right. Let's see what Rainey's going to do. Right up the inside, past about 25 guys on the Armco. Almost took the photographer out. That's dangerous, but it was smart.
Well, there's almost 100,000 smart spectators in here, too, on the other side of the hay bales, away from these going fast type of motorcycle racers. It is still number 34, Schwantz, in front of it here in the early stages. And Schwantz comes off of turn number 8, and that was a mild bobble. I'd call it a wild one, Keith.
Kevin Schwantz is really pressing his advantage. He started up front, Rainey's in the back. Rainey's definitely moving up, but Schwantz is not letting the grass grow under his feet at all.
He looks back at number 17, Felice, who's chasing him, and there is number 6, Rainey, who came clear from that back row start. And Rainey starting to gobble up the Canadian now. Number 11, Gary Goodfellow. They're on the straightaway together, and here comes Rainey making lots of horsepower.
Here's a good example of the frustration of the privateer up against factory horsepower. They're making a bunch of it, and that's what's put Rainey up in the front, in the lead in the Superbike Series.
The series total maybe, but today he's still got a lot of carving to do. Now, Wayne Rainey is a professional full-timer for American Honda, and he makes a living, boy, a big living, in the six-figure basis riding motorcycles. Rainey, once again, in your camera there as he goes sailing by. We're going to take an up-close look at his lifestyle with Dennis Torres.
The life of a pro motorcycle racer, the caliber of Wayne Rainey, is a little different than most non-enthusiasts would imagine. For the most part, Rainey is not unlike a typical 26-year-old Wall Street yuppie pulling in a six-figure salary. This is where it all begins. Honda Racing HQ. Like IBM or General Motors, employees are in at 9 a.m. That's Rainey's engine man, Rob Muzzy. Rainey himself drops in a little less frequent than most. His is a more of a I'll be there when you need me type of arrangement. Still, when he's in the office, it's all business. Rainey has 2 mechanics assigned to him. You've already met engine builder extraordinaire Rob Muzzy. Rainey's other mechanic is the ever-jovial Sparky Edmondson. He takes care of the chassis and handling department. From time to time, road racing team manager Udo Giddel drops by just to make sure there's not too much hanging around the water cooler. And if it's time for brainstorming or heavy-duty problem solving, it's off to the corporate conference room. Away from Honda HQ and the racing, Rainey's Downey, California home is his oasis. The Team Honda star shares his home with his lovely new bride, Shay. Unlike the stereotypical motorcycle daredevil, Rainey is a very mature 26-year-old that holds family life high on his list of priorities. If he and his wife are not being homebodies, you can usually find them over his dad and mom's home. There, Rainey, his dad, and his brother can be found burning the midnight oil, putting the finishing touches on his dirt tracker. Like I said, when Wayne Rainey goes racing, it's a family affair.
Back to the racing action now. Number 34, Schwantz, in control of this first leg of the Nissan 200. But now, 5 seconds behind him and solidly in the second place spot is number 6, Wayne Rainey, whom we just looked at. And Keith Code, this guy can ride a superbike.
He sure can. When he came out to my school in 1981, I knew that that guy sitting at the back of the classroom with all that dirt track experience was the kind of guy that world champions are made out of. And he's showing us just exactly what he's made out of today, all the way from that last row start up to second.
The first leg of the Nissan 200 still racing. We've got a lot more racing yet to go in
SeaWorld. Here at the Monterey Bay Aquarium, over 5 million people have had a chance to see marine life native to Monterey Bay.
The The Monterey Bay Aquarium should rank on the top of your list of must-see items when you're in Monterey. Also, try and make it motorcycle weekend next year and watch the action like we are. There went second place, Rainey. Third place, Poland. Fourth place was Felice. And here's the battle for fifth. Number 11, Goodfellow, the Canadian. Number 67, the ranking number 1 on the dirt track, Bubba Schobert. And Schobert's going well from that back row start, Keith.
He sure is, Bruce. He's moved up very, very quietly. Now he's overhauling 5th position. He's going to try to make it up with the leaders, and I think he's got enough laps that he can move right up in there.
Number 34, Schwantz, in front of it as they go out onto the chute once again. And Schwantz is now going to be faced with an interesting situation. The fastest guy on the racetrack coming up on the slowest ones, Keith.
Traffic is always a problem at all racetracks, but at Laguna Seca, it's particularly difficult. It's kind of a one-line track. Only the very best can pass. Just like that pass. That was a terrific pass. Beautiful, safe. Schwantz did a terrific job.
Now, the bobbles right in here. We've been watching a lot of guys do that. Is that because there's some undulations on the track?
That's right. There are ripples on the track. The cars make them. The motorcycles have a hard time. That's part of the snake. You can get bitten right there bad.
Turn 9, the leader coming by traffic once again as number 34, Schwantz, almost bought one of the back marker guys.
That's another problem with traffic here at Laguna Seca. There's only one line through that curve right there, and there's Armco on the outside of it. It's a tough one.
Coming off of turn number 9, the two motorcycles you're looking at, that's Jimmy Felice, who is in the 4th place spot, and that's Bubba Schobert, who's trying to take it away from him. These two guys battle each other on dirt tracks all over the nation, and they're both from just a few miles away from this racetrack, calling it home, and call Schobert now the new 4th place spot.
Schobert got him right there in turn 1. It's the fastest part of the course. I'm not sure what's happening to Felice. I know he's still trying. He's not going to give up. Maybe he can stay in Schobert's draft.
And that draft he's talking about is not the National Football League draft. These guys are on average about 5'6", around 135 or 40 pounds. There are no 240-pound successful road racers.
Right, there's Doug Poland. He's a Texan. He's not a big guy, but he sure is long on talent. He's taking that privateer, Kozar Suzuki, and he's really been making a dent in the American road racing scene this year.
Sitting third at this moment in the first leg of the Nissan 200, Doug Poland certainly part of our story. But the story keeps unfolding in little bits and pieces as we're back in the helicopter trying to keep up with these ultra-fast road racers at Laguna.
Look at Kevin Schwantz carving right through the traffic, going into the corkscrew. There's only one line through there, but he made up a new one.
And then he dropped 700 feet down to the floor and on his way to turn number 9. That was pretty the way he went through traffic. Schwantz still well out in front of it. Rainey in the 2nd place spot as you watch the leader in that lump of traffic that he just went by. He's got to be using up the motorcycle.
He definitely is, Bruce. He wants to stay ahead. He doesn't want Rainey to catch him. He needs those points.
There was Poland bobbling just a little bit, but Poland now feeling the heat from number 67, Schobert. And we've watched Schobert carving that way from the back clear to almost the very front. He's been amazing.
He's not waving any flags, but he sure is knocking off positions.
The pit crewman for Bubba Schobert with extensive notes. They've had their stopwatches going heavy on him the last couple of laps. The Yoshimura team, Suzuki, of number 34, Kevin Schwantz. They've also been busy with their stopwatches and sending signals to their rider. Here comes number 6. This is your 2nd place overall in this leg, and his pit crewman showing Wayne Rainey the latest pit signal from them. Well, it's been an interesting go. It is far from over, and in fact, right at this moment on the racetrack, the best race is for 3rd place, involving number 23, Poland, and number 67, Bubba Schobert. We're coming down to the checkered flag. We're coming back to Monterey to watch more of this. Code, and we're deeply embroiled in the first leg of this 100-kilometer leg Nissan 200. That is the battle for the 3rd place spot. Doug Poland still holding Bubba Schobert at bay. But there's our 2nd place rider, Wayne Rainey, and he's got problems.
It looks like he was pointing to the rear of the machine, possibly oil on the tire, or possibly he's burned that tire up from that terrific charge he made off the last row of the starting grid.
Boy, he has been absolutely a delight to watch as he has worked his way through traffic, clear to the 2nd place spot, but now maybe problems. And here's that battle for 3rd again, up close, boy. Poland has got Bubba all over him.
Schobert's just biding his time, waiting for Poland to make a mistake. He knows he doesn't have any problems. He's got the horsepower. There's Poland looking back. Uh-oh, Bubba's on my tail again.
Hey, you teach an awful lot of guys how to go road racing. They're not supposed to look back like that, are they?
Well, when they're that close and you're looking for 3rd place, definitely.
Well, they are close, and they have been the best one-on-one battle here in this 100-kilometer leg. Poland in front of Schobert.
Those bikes are really loose out there, Bruce. I think Poland's bike must have a suspension problem or else tires have gone south. Look, there's Rainey into the pits.
The 2nd place rider is in the pit lane. There are no scheduled pit stops, so this is costing him dearly.
Rainey must have had a problem. Yes, definitely. Look, there's a tire, there's crew members. It looks like we caught them unaware. Rainey did, definitely.
Okay, so we're going to have a new second place out on the racetrack. And who's it going to be? Well, it's probably going to be number 23, Doug Poland. But Schobert is right on him, trying to take second away from him in these closing stages.
They don't even know they're fighting for second place now. They haven't had a chance to get the pit signal. Rainey just pulled in.
And here is our leader, number 34, Kevin Schwantz, about to put a whole lap now on Rainey. And the Yoshimura Suzuki, which has not skipped a beat so far, dives onto the brakes in turn number 9 once again here at Laguna Seca. Coming by the pits this time, Rainey still in the pit lane being tended to as number 34 Schwantz comes up and through the gears. There's Rainey getting back underway, but it's been a whole lap now.
This is Schwantz's chance to improve his position in the Superbike battle this year. He's down a bunch of points, but these 20 that he could get with Rainey getting none. Whoa, there's a red flag.
Yeah, a red flag is going to stop all the action on this racetrack. They'll bring him to a complete halt, and there, in fact, is the reason. Between turns 7 and 8, a rider down, separated from his bike. The corner workers are there. The report is, out of Portland, Oregon, it's Keith Pinkstaff who's being tended to.
Bruce, yes, here's the replay of that incident. There's Pinkstaff. He gets it sideways, it high sides him, and throws him down on the track. The Laguna Seca snake has bitten yet another rider. It's a good thing that the AMA red flagged this event. I think it really would have been dangerous with a rider laying right there in the middle of the track in between 7 and 8.
Once again, it is a full-course red flag that has brought everything to a complete stop. All the competitors and their motorcycles are now down along the pit lane. Number 34, Kevin Schwantz, the Yoshimura crew, putting in a brand new fresh rear tire in case we get into a restart condition again. The rest of the motorcycles also being tended to up and down pit lane. Bubba Schobert relaxing a little bit along the pit wall. His Honda appears ready. The Suzuki of Doug Poland also set to go, although he doesn't look like the happiest guy at the moment. Let's go down to Dennis Torres and find out more about what's happening down there.
Bruce, while the AMA sorts things out down here, let's take a little trip around Laguna Seca and see what attracts over 100,000 people here this weekend. The main attraction is, of course, the racing. Besides attracting all of the top names, racing at Laguna Seca is special because of the circuit itself, which combines challenging sections and the spectator vantage points to enjoy them. The atmosphere here is like no other track in America. Although the weekend caters to any motorsports fan, it's paradise for the motorcycle racing enthusiast. Most fans who come to Laguna do so on performance motorcycles, and the various motorcycle manufacturers take advantage of that fact to show off their latest sport models. Tents and displays are plentiful. The midway, down around the paddock area, offers fans the chance to buy just about any aftermarket accessory available. It's a total motorcycle happening. Another one of the sidebar attractions that has been a big hit this year are the Yamaha YSRs. These little 50cc bikes have been zooming around the paddock all weekend around this makeshift miniature Grand Prix course. Even some of the pros got a chance to test out these little screamers in the Celebrity YSR Challenge. That's our own Keith Code in the black leathers, sort of at the tail end of the pack. King Kenny Roberts also was a participant, but like the rest of the competitors, he had to take a backseat to his protege, John Kosinski. Our Mr. Code did, however, show lots of chutzpah in the enthusiasm department. Perhaps Keith wasn't showing all of his cards, or perhaps he was saving his energy. After all the racing is over, his California Superbike School takes over Laguna on Monday morning. The California Superbike Schools run at just about every major track in America, and they offer an inexpensive way to give road racing a go under the supervision of our own resident road racing guru.
Well, I don't know about you, but I enjoyed watching my colleague Keith Code on a mini bike, the YSR Yamaha race. Keith, I didn't realize that you taught your schools all over the United States.
That's right, Bruce. The Superbike School goes everywhere, all the major tracks in the United States. In fact, you should come out. And by the way, in that YSR race, I can't believe that Kenny Roberts beat me.
Okay, here's your finishing results of the first leg. Schwantz the winner, Poland second, Schobert third, Felice fourth, Goodfellow fifth. Rainey ended up being credited with the 12th place spot in that one. Yet to come on our program will be the second leg of the Nissan 200 with the Superbikes. But coming up next, right after this, Shoei presents the Castrol 250 GP. Don't go. We're at Laguna Seca Raceway. We've already seen one leg of the prestigious Nissan 200 go in the books. We have yet another leg to run. But until then, we have to kind of focus our attention over to the Castrol Shoei Helmet 250 GP. And Keith Code, that's a wild one.
250 GP racing has been the best racing in the United States. It's close, it's tight. The little 225-pound machines will still go 160 miles an hour. King Kenny Roberts has got himself a 250cc team in the United States this year, and John Kosinski, the current points leader, is part of that team.
Dennis Torres had a chance to take a closer look at Kenny's team and how it works.
This is World Championship Grand Prix road racing. Glamorous, exciting, jet-setting from continent to continent. It's where King Kenny Roberts created his worldwide reputation as a winner. The former three-time world champ currently manages Team Lucky Strike Roberts and has them doing quite well. That's no surprise. What is a surprise is why he would manage another team stateside.
I need some connection with the riders here that are coming up, because that's very important to our future as far as the team's performance and Yamaha's performance worldwide.
John Kosinski is Roberts' main rider, young, enthusiastic, and comes equipped with unlimited potential. The Arkansas rider comes into Laguna Seca leading the standings and owning a 2-race win streak. The other team rider is Cal Rayborn III, son of the legendary racer which dueled handlebar to handlebar with Roberts himself. The glue that holds the team together is Bud Asklund. Asklund and Roberts have known each other since Roberts was 15 and has gained KR's confidence over the years.
I have to have people that work. I can't have people that don't work. That you know, some people you can get, and all of a sudden the job's just not going right. It's just not working. Some people can make things work and some people can't. Bud just happens to be one of the people that can make it work when I'm not around. So both of these guys and the whole team has just sort of caught me off guard. I didn't expect this kind of results. I figured that we would just get a foot in, and next year we'd come at them a little harder, and we will.
Kenny Roberts with the baseball cap on there, moving his favorite 250cc rider, John Kosinski, over to the grid, giving him last-minute instructions. It was an interesting look at the way that whole team and all of this 250 stuff goes together. That's Cork Ballington. Ballington, a 4-time world champion, and on these size bikes, he can be very tough. And they tell me now that down along the grid, the points leader is with Dennis Torres.
Down here with Team Roberts, John Kosinski, moments before the start. John, a lot of racers treat this opening here a little bit different. What's going on through your mind right now, moments before the start?
Well, I just want to get a good start and stay with the lead pack and hope that everything turns out in my favor.
In previous races, a lot of guys have battled for the lead from 2 to 8 bikes. Do you think someone can pull away here at Laguna Seca?
I don't know. It's going to be a tough race, and it's hard to predict in 250 since it's been so close. So.
Okay, good luck to you, John.
Thank you.
Let's go back topside to Bruce Flanders.
Thank you, Dennis, and it's time now to set the grid as these 250cc riders are ready to go.
This is an incredible grid. Alan Carter from England has been running the GP Wars for 4 years. Cork Ballington, of course, world champion. Both of them, Team McLean. Don Green is 3-time U.S. champion in the 250cc division, Bruce. Rich Oliver, no slouch either, out of Richmond, California on the Honda. And then we've already met John Kosinski from Arkansas on the Yamaha. Then row 2 has got Cal Rayburn III. We'll tell you more about him. Randy Renfro, one of the best. In fact, a total of 37 riders are going to take the green flag on this one. There are 2 guys all alone on the back on row 8. We're just moments away from race time now. Stuff them down into first gear. Watch for that green flag. A mass start for the Shoei Helmet Castrol 250 GP. They are away, and apparently they are all cleanly away from this one. The front row guys battling handlebar to handlebar as they go down into turn number 1. And Keith Code, this one's going to be a tough assignment to win. This racing has been unbelievable all year. There it is. You're probably going to see action just like that the whole race. But Donnie Green, the 3-time Formula 2 champion, has taken the lead right off the starting line. Donnie Green out of Novato, California is his home, and he rides an awful lot of tracks out here on the West Coast. He's a bigger guy, though, than the rest of them, isn't he? He's really at a serious disadvantage on these 250cc machines. He weighs about 165 pounds. These machines only make about 75 horsepower, but the guys behind him are all weighing in about 130, 135 pounds. Some of them, like Randy Renfro, as light as 120 pounds. It's a big disadvantage. Number 80, Kosinski, is in the second place spot, chasing Green. It's hard to think of a 165-pound monster in any form of sport, but definitely in front of it right now is Don Green. Kosinski in the second place spot, and that ever so tough customer Ballington on the number 99 bike sits third. If this race is going to be anything like the other 250cc races we've seen this year, Donnie Green is not going to stay in front too long. Sometimes we've seen lead changes up to 5 or 10 times per lap.
This is the kind of thing, they cannot be too hard on the motorcycle or too hard on the tires, can they?
Well, the 250cc machines are much more forgiving than the bigger, larger superbikes, the 750cc machines. They're light. They really are not that hard on the tires, but you can burn them up. Definitely here at this course at Laguna Seca, the Snake can get your tires.
This is one of the shorter races of the weekend as far as total time, but it is certainly action-packed excitement as we zero in on our leader, Don Green, out of Novato, California. But it looks like there's a team trying to close on him with 99 Ballington and 80 Kosinski. Is there drafting a lot with 250s?
The 250cc machines definitely rely on the drafting. Drafting is very important because the machines don't have a lot of power. If you back off once in the middle of a turn, 3 guys will go by you in the 250cc racing.
Our current leader, number 1, Don Green, 99 Ballington, working on him hard. Number 80, Kosinski, sits third, and number 97 from Great Britain, Carter, in the 4th place spot.
Ballington's replaying what he's been doing all year long in 250cc racing. He's already taken over Kosinski. He's going for green. He likes to sit back. He's a wily rider from the 250cc GP wars that he ran in Europe.
Another lap goes into the book as they go under the Nissan bridge, and still the top 4 remain the same, but suddenly Ballington up working again, and there is a lot of speed being shown by the 3rd place rider, Kosinski. In fact, Kosinski coming a couple of miles an hour hotter at the moment, and this is the fastest portion of the race course right here.
Right. Not only Kosinski, but also Alan Carter's moving up to get into that fray. In 250cc racing, 2's company, 3's a crowd, and 4 is a big handful.
Well, we got a handful out there right now. Look at Kosinski down on the inside, the number 80 trying to swoop to the lead, but he got to 2nd place. Well, they're all over. They just cross each other's lines like it doesn't matter.
That was a wild one there. Kosinski just run right in the middle. Oh, did you see Carter? He hit the curbing.
Carter, that was amazing that he even recovered, but he's hanging on to the 2nd place spot. We're going to be back with more of this excitement from us, doesn't he? Checking out the wineries of Monterey. When we left you, it was a 4-man battle. Kenny Roberts watching closely what has reduced to a 2-man battle, and it is an interesting one. Number 80, young Kosinski, in front of number 99, the 4-time former world champion, Cork Ballington. And Keith, these 2 guys have been having at each other.
There's no room for any errors in this game. Both Carter and Green, looks like they made a couple of them, and they're just not up to the speed that these 2 guys are. And it looks like Ballington and Kosinski are really going to go for it in the closing stages of this race.
Interesting sidebar to this. Kosinski, you've already met him. He's only a 19-year-old kid, not a world full of experience underneath him. But if you want worlds of experience, it's running right behind him, the number 99, Ballington. Ballington on the Honda, chasing the hard-running Yamaha. Now, Honda's actually had a stranglehold on this class for a while, haven't they?
Yes, they have. That was before King Kenny Roberts and his Yamaha team came in. Of course, the Team McLean machine of Cork Ballington is a stock Honda, and so is the John Kosinski machine. But of course, Bud Axland, one of the best tuners in the business, is working for King Kenny Roberts.
Bud has tuned engines on some of the fastest things to run in the world. That's him on the far left as their whole team looks over the pit wall at their leader. Number 80, Kosinski, the 19-year-old, comes through the corkscrew once again. And Keith, it looks like he's opened up his lead right now.
It does look like he opened up his lead. It looks like he's riding the wheels off that thing. But don't count Ballington out yet. Ballington is really the wily old fox. He's still got him inside. He's less than a half a second behind him. Let's see what's going to happen.
The classic confrontation, the kid against the old man, the Honda against the Yamaha. The Yamaha and the kid are in front at the moment, and the laps are counting away in a great big hurry here at Laguna Seca. This time, they go by with about 6 bike lengths separating them. 99 Ballington, though, not one to give up and not one to settle for second. You don't win world championships settling for second.
That's an impossible task, and Ballington is not letting Kosinski get away from him. In fact, he's closing in on him right here in the faster sections of the track. Looks like Kosinski has the advantage in the slower parts.
The youngster still in front. Ballington in the 2nd place spot. That now is the 3rd place rider. Number 1, our former leader, Don Green. But he's back about 15 or 16 seconds and no longer in touch with that one-on-one battle up in the front. At the top of the corkscrew, your leader, Kosinski, and Ballington is right back on his exhaust pipe again.
He's pressing the advantage. It doesn't look like Kosinski got away from him at all in the slower parts of the track this time. He's closing. He's closing in for the kill.
Now watch him closely because they're coming up and putting a lap on a rider. That is number 90 that they're about ready to go around. Robert Mosen from Arlington, Virginia. He gets on both sides. That's like being passed in stereo, I think.
That's a leader sandwich. Yamaha, Honda, and they're going for the lead. They're not letting the traffic get in their ways. They're going for the checker flag. I think it's coming up. There's the white flag. This is the last lap of this race.
One more lap around. So if you're going to play your aces, reach heavily up your sleeve and get ready to slam them onto the table. Number 99, Ballington, is the guy who's in the Cale Yarborough kind of catbird seat. Can he make a slingshot move and get by the kid? Last time around, we're going to settle the showy helmet race right now.
He looks like he's got the ace up his sleeve. There was Kosinski trying to move him out of his draft, but Ballington's hanging right in there. He's right on his tailpipe. There's Kosinski looking around. All he sees is that showy helmet and that number 99. Look, Ballington ran off the track and corkscrew.
Ballington is off, and he is apparently okay, but it is now Kosinski all by himself. There's Ballington. You just saw a little bit of him re-entering the course. Now he's waving up at the corner workers. He's okay, gets back in, still in second, but going to win this one easily now will be Kosinski.
Definitely, but Green's still 14 or 15 seconds back. If Ballington can get on the gas coming down the hill for those last few turns, 7, 8, and 9, he can still stay right there in second position.
The 19-year-old kid on Kenny Roberts' 250cc bike, the Yamaha for Nordica, among other people, going to take the checkered flag. A big victory for him.
That was fantastic ride by Kosinski and a big mistake for Ballington. Look at Kosinski. He's up off the machine, waving the victory sign at the crowd. The crowd's going crazy.
Youthful exuberance. Well, there's your top 5 in this showy helmets race. Kosinski wins it. Ballington hangs on for the second place spot. Green got third. Cal Rayburn the third on the Yamaha. Kosinski's teammate got fourth. And Alan Carter, the Britisher on the Honda, was fifth. Let's go now to the victory circle area where Dennis Torres has got the youthful John Kosinski.
Okay, down here, winner's circle, the big winner here, John Kosinski from the Team Roberts team. You had Cork Ballington, a 4-time world champion, to contend with out there. The idea is not to make mistakes, and you're the one who didn't make any out there.
Yeah, it was a tough race. Cork's a really tough guy to race against because he has so much experience, and he's very smart, and sometimes he leads you into things you don't really mean to get into, but going into the chicane, yeah, I guess I just had the pressure on him, and he went straight instead of turn. So everything worked in my favor, and I'm very happy. And I'd like to thank all my sponsors, especially Yamaha. They've done a great deal of help. My mechanic, Bud Axon, he's the best in the world. Also, I have to thank my boss, Kenny Roberts. I don't think I could have won it without him.
Okay, you got them all in now. Now, 3 wins in a row. Increased your lead over Cork Ballington in championship. What about that?
I'm happy, but we still have 3 more races, and I'm not going to give up. I'm going to ride harder than I did here to keep that points lead. But the main thing is to be consistent and just get finished.
Congratulations, John.
Thank you.
John Kosinski, 3 in a row for Team Yamaha.
Another rider looking for 3 in a row. It is this man, number 34, Kevin Schwantz on the Suzuki. The Superbikes are now on the grid for the second leg of the Nissan 200. We've got more excitement from Monterey.
At Laguna Seca was highlighted by a battle of teammates. Randy Momola, number 8, Mike Baldwin, number 1, both riding for Team Cool Roberts. The 2 Yamaha riders thrilled Laguna fans with fairing-to-fairing action in both legs of this historic confrontation. In the end, Baldwin nipped Momola to the line in the second leg to take the overall win. It was Baldwin's first win at Laguna Seca and Kenny Roberts' first championship victory as a racing team manager.
Welcome back to Monterey, California, as the second and final leg of the Nissan 200. The deciding race of the day gets ready to go. They all put them down into gear. We're ready for the green flag momentarily. The best motorcycle road racers in the United States are off on our final event of the weekend. A clean start. They all got away well. And Keith Code, once again, we've got excitement in turn 1.
It's going to be a fantastic second leg. Definitely Schwantz is going to go out to win it. There he is in the lead, pulling in tow. It's a replay of the first time around. There's, looked like Jimmy Felice in third place.
It was number 17, Jimmy Felice in the third place spot. First Yamaha, it's the Suzuki out in front. Schwantz, he won our first leg. He's sitting tough. He could wrap up this whole weekend. And right now, in control as they come under the bridge. And boy, they get right to work on cold race tires, don't they?
This is the last one, and it's the one that counts. Schwantz is up there. He led the first one. He won the first one. All he has to do is stay up there. He's exhibited skill and proficiency and smoothness and speed on that Suzuki, and it looks like he might be able to do it again.
The Nissan 200 is run in 2 different 100-kilometer legs. The starting grid exactly the same for both legs. Number 34, Schwantz, has been on the pole, gotten great starts every time. But number 6, already up to the 5th place spot, has had to start from the very back row. That's Wayne Rainey on the Honda. In the first leg of this event, he got a tremendous start. Flat smoked everybody. There he comes again, the number 6 in the 5th place spot. He's working his way through traffic wholesale right now to get by some 30-odd riders. He's still got to go a long ways to catch up to number 34, Schwantz, our leader. But obviously, Wayne Rainey put on another good start in this second leg. We're going to go to a replay right now and find out how good it was.
And here's the grid. There's Rainey on the left, number 6. Sjoberg on the right, number 67. They flip their face shields down, put them into gear. Let's see what happens. There's Rainey with an incredible start. Look, he's by about 25 guys already. That was a fantastic start.
In the brief moments that we watched that replay, there have been some major changes on the racetrack. That's number 23, Poland, who sits second overall. But Rainey already up to the third place spot. He has been an amazing man to watch on this racetrack.
Right, Bruce, he's going for points. He wants that overall championship. If he can catch up with Schwantz, he can salvage a few out of this thing yet.
Poland casts a look over his shoulder at the ever-closing Rainey as they are at speed. Number 34, Schwantz, your leader. There's the differential between he and second place Poland, and Rainey now right on his exhaust pipe as they motor past us here.
This has been Poland's plight all year long. He's seen those factory Hondas up his exhaust pipe, and he's got another one on him this time. Instead of Schobert, though, it's Rainey coming right up on him.
Boy, and this is good right now. Look at him. Here they come at you. Number 6, Rainey, trying to make the move on the inside of Poland, and does. Takes over the second place now.
That was a good pass right up there in turn 4. Rainey did get a little wide and got out to the Dragon's Teeth, but it was good. There, the front wheel off the ground. Rainey's going away from him.
The action at Monterey, exciting, and will continue right after this. We are in the second leg of the Nissan 200. That is number 34, who leads the second leg, won the first 100-kilometer leg, and Kevin Schwantz has just been good today.
Schwantz is showing us just poetry in motion. His riding is flowing. He's got some experience on the GP circuit. He's back here riding these 385-pound super bikes, and he just looks fantastic and super smooth on that Suzuki.
Kevin Schwantz out of Houston, Texas, one of the contingent of AMA riders who go road racing out of Texas. He's now in turn number 8 here at Laguna. Short chute between 8 and 9, and they use the brakes heavily right here. Schwantz, the number 34 Yoshimura Suzuki, on the brakes as he goes through 9. Oh, and gets off the top side right there.
He got on the gas too soon. The back end came around, and he flicked it down the road. This is going to be a bad break for Schwantz because this race would be crucial to his bid for the championship this year.
And we do have a new leader at this moment. Wayne Rainey has taken over the lead as Schwantz clears the racetrack right there with the help of one of the corner workers, but his chances for a bucket of money going up in smoke in that one. They tell me we've got a replay. Let's take a look at it right now.
He's smooth as silk coming into the turn, puts his knee down to see what the lean angle is, and it looks like he just digs it into the ground, leverages the back end around, and it flicks him right down the road.
The new leader on the racetrack right now is number 6, Wayne Rainey, but he does not have a chance at the overall win because of his poor finish in the first leg. The man we're watching right now, number 23, Doug Poland, finished second in the first 100-kilometer leg, and if he can keep it off of the hay bales, he'll finish second again in this one, and that will give Poland the overall win, and I think his first ever national win, Keith.
That would be his very first national win, but right now he's in that flight he's been in all year long with Bubba Schobert smoking right down his tailpipe.
Bubba Schobert is on his tail. There's Poland, number 23, Schobert right behind him, and there's traffic in front of him, and it looks like that motorcycle's just a little loose to me.
He's definitely pulled out all the stops. He knows Bubba's behind him. Bubba's got the horsepower. Now the Texan has got to rely on his tires, and I think he just might have burned them up before the end of the race.
Doug Poland out of Denton, Texas on the Team Kozar machine, coming up on that traffic heavily now as they go on up into turn number 5 here at Laguna Seca. Now from the corkscrew angle, and whoa, he's definitely charging and carving at the moment.
Oh, what was that? That looked like Poland. Looked like he ran off the track and got into the hay bales. There's another rider down as well.
That's number 187, MD, the other rider that is down. But I think the chances have now gone away for Poland, and we're looking at our new second-place rider, number 67, Bubba Schobert. There's Poland forlornly trying to figure out whether the motorcycle will run again or not.
That's really a tough break for Poland. Here's the replay right now, Bruce. There was Poland going underneath that other rider, Dave MD. There's MD out in the hay bales. Oh, that's a tough hit. Oh, man, there's Schobert disappearing off the bottom of the screen. He missed the whole thing, luckily, and that puts him in second place. Now, Poland, where's Poland? Here he is. He's sliding back into the frame. There he is on the left-hand side. Ah, tough break for him. I hope he's okay, too.
To say it's been an action-packed race up until now would be an understatement. We've seen 2 different potential winners go away in a cloud of smoke and a hearty hi-oh silver, and we're looking at number 17, Jimmy Felice. Felice has got the potential to win this overall. However, he's got to get home before that guy. Number 67, Bubba Schobert, and they're close together in a battle for second place.
That's right, Bruce. In fact, our stopwatches show that Felice is actually closing the distance on Schobert. Either one of those guys could win the race. If Felice can get by him, he's the winner overall. Now, there's our leader, but he cannot win this race.
No, he did not do well in the first one. If you're just tuning in, Wayne Rainey has been uncatchable. There's the Dunlop tire engineers worried about first and second place. They're both on Dunlops right now. now. And back to my point, Rainey cannot win the overall. Felice, number 17, could. Schobert could win the overall, but not Rainey because of what happened to him in the first leg.
And there's Gary Goodfellow. He's the first privateer on the course. He's laying now 4th on the course, but he's set up for 3rd overall. He could be in the winner's stand.
The Canadian doing quite well. Goodfellow. Now, let's take a look. Here is number 6 once again. That's your leader. And Rainey by us smoothly as we watch this action. And we're going to hold this shot and stay on it and wait until the second place rider comes by. A differential somewhere around 10 or 11 seconds now.
There's Schobert right there. He's 2nd on the track, but he's looking for the overall win.
The overall win, the champagne, the glory, and the gold in the Nissan 200. Right out is number 67, Bubba Schobert. He is in 2nd place on the racetrack at the moment, but 2nd place will be enough to give Bubba Schobert the overall win in the Nissan 200.
He doesn't have far to go now. There's just a couple of laps left in this race. Felice is closing on him. He's right on his tail. In fact, you can see them really close coming through the corkscrew.
The Honda of Schobert in 2nd. In the 3rd place spot, number 17, the Yamaha of Felice. Neither of these guys has won a national championship event this year, but both of them completely capable of it.
Felice has had a terrible season. He's had lots of bike troubles, and this is it for him. This looks really terrific for the Northern California rider.
That is Wayne Rainey. He will win this leg of the race, we do believe. Last lap flag is now waving. One more time around. Rainey has an insurmountable lead and can almost break and coast home. It's been a good ride for him, but it was poor luck for him in the first go, keeping him from the overall win.
This race isn't over yet, though. If Felice can pass Schobert, that's it. He's got the overall win for the Nissan 200, and that would be very good for him.
And you can bet his mechanics have been keeping him up to date with their pit signals. Felice knows who's the one he's got to get by. It's Schobert in front of him, and he's trying to get his gun sights zeroed in on him now.
He's definitely close enough. Schobert hasn't really gotten away from him. One tiny mistake by Schobert up there in the corkscrew section, which is coming up next, could mean the race win.
At this checkered flag, it'll be the end of 100 kilometers. Tires have been part of the story, and both of these guys are starting to run out of tires right now as Schobert looked underneath his shoulder and looked back to see where Felice was.
Schobert knows what the game is. He knows where Felice is. He knows where he is. He's only got 3 more turns to go. He's got to be careful, but he's got to be fast.
The Honda against the Yamaha. This is a good one for the overall, but let's go back to the guy who's going to win this 100 kilometer. The wheel comes up. He waves to the crowd with that front wheel. And for the win in this last 100 kilometer segment, number 6, Wayne Rainey. Our congratulations to him, but surprisingly, he will not be in the victory circle. Who will be in the victory circle? Keep your eye on that finish line. There it is. Number 67, Bubba Schobert, beats Felice to the line.
A great victory for Schobert. That's his 2nd career road race victory. Everybody was the winner here, though, today at Laguna Seca in Monterey. It was a fantastic day.
The Nissan 200 final results, and our congratulations go to Bubba Schobert, the winner on the Honda. Jimmy Felice, 2nd on a Yamaha. Gary Goodfellow, the Canadian, home 3rd on the Suzuki. Scott Gray, another Suzuki, 4th. Rainey ended up with 5th. And we'll look at the rest of the top 10 as we add our special congratulations to Lee Moselle and all the good people from Scramp. Boy, they put on another outstanding motorcycle weekend. Now, let's go join the party in Victory Circle with Dennis Torres.
Okay, Bruce, he's quiet. He's from Texas. He runs the dirt and he runs the pavement, and he's the winner of the 1987 Nissan 200. Bubba, a long afternoon out there. A lot of work, but it paid off for you.
Yeah, it's really hard for me to believe, but I knew going into it, you know, it's a long race. Anything can happen. I felt like the pressure was on them, and just rode my own races, and hell, I won.
Bubba, there were a lot of tire problems out there, bike problems, crashes. What kept you up on 2 wheels?
I tell you what, the Dunlop tires worked flawless for me. A couple of guys might have had some problems, but they worked great for me, and the Honda machine, the VFR 750, ran perfect. Never missed a beat. My mechanic, Mike Blasco and Skip Eakin, I owe them a lot of credit.
Bubba, what is it about this Laguna Seca track? Last year you had your best ride. This year you capped it off with a win.
Oh, it's great. Now, no, I'm just glad I came here instead of going to the dirt track. This is great. The fans are great. First time I really raced in front of my home crowd, and hell, I win for them. Maybe they're probably behind me now.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Bubba Schobert, winner, Nissan 200.
Well, we'd like to congratulate Bubba Schobert. Very happy gentleman down there in that victory circle area. And on top of that, Keith Cody doesn't have far to drive home. Carmel Valley's just over the hill.
Right. Bubba did a terrific job today. He really took his time, rode very conservatively. He knew where he wanted to be, and he took the overall win in this Nissan 200. Fantastic.
How'd you like that Castrol 250 GP?
Well, John Kaczynski came out and really did it for his teacher, Kenny Roberts, and the Kenny Roberts team, taking 3 in a row now. This is his 3rd in a row. Fantastic.
The ambiance at this racetrack is like none other weather in the world. If you get the opportunity, come to Laguna Seca in Monterey. For Keith Code, who's been helping me here in the booth, Dennis Torres, who's been all over the infield, I'm Bruce Flanders. Thanks for watching, and we'll be back next year.
The 1987 Nissan 200 Motorcycle Classic has been brought to you by Nissan, who invites you to test drive a hot new Nissan car or truck and see what Nissan makes you feel like driving. Honda, motorcycles and all-terrain vehicles. Honda, follow the leader. Shoei helmets, safety with style, and the choice.
From the finesse of World Championship.